Jai Gurudev for the Age of Enlightenment. His Holiness Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, founder of the Maharshi technology of the Unified Field. Advanced lectures on the Transcendental Meditation Program. Lecture 12. World Peace through the Maharshi technology of the Unified Field. Enlivening the Unified Field in individual awareness, providing a basis for the whole field of diversity to be established in eternal harmony and perfect balance. Maharshi speaks to citizens of the Age of Enlightenment, Oslo, Norway.
The area of world peace is that aspect of the applied value of the technology of the unified field which can be regarded as very basic to happiness and prosperity, to the very existence. World peace. The word world means great variety, existence of large variety. And when we say the word peace, it's everything that is different from every other thing is in good accord with every other thing. The whole collection of flowers, if there is only one kind of flower, it will not be so beautiful a vase. Different colors make a beautiful vase. Different cultures, different languages, different manners of thinking and performance, all these differences, mountains somewhere, lake somewhere, sunshine somewhere, night somewhere, all these different values means a world. So when we are talking of world peace, we don't say that differences would be eliminated. It will be a mirage to think that if people think in the same way, if all the nations think in the same way, then there will be a peace. It's not the principle of world peace. Only that principle will be practical to establish world peace, which recognizes and validates the existence of all kinds of differences, but creates a situation that every kind of life, every kind and quality of living will adore, will enrich every other kind of living. Every language will adore every other language. Every kind of thinking will adore, will prove to be an adoration and not a condemnation of all other kinds of things. So a principle which can accept the enrichment of individual and society, that principle would succeed in maintaining peace in the world. The problem of world peace is not the problem of variety. It's just the problem of knowledge of that which underlies all variety, the problem of knowledge of that which underlies diversity, and the technology that will bring the upsurge of that underlying unity into the field of diversity. That knowledge is lacking, which will bring the upsurge of unity into the field of diversity. That knowledge, that technique whereby every individual fulfilling his own interest simultaneously fulfills the interest of others. That knowledge and that spontaneity of performance, that spontaneity of thought and action, which will bring fulfillment to the desire of the individual and not jeopardize the desire of society as a whole. That knowledge will establish world peace. That technique will establish world peace. That education will establish world peace, which develops a universal individual. For an individual to be spontaneously enriching to the society, he has to have that broadened awareness. He has to have that all-comprehensive intelligence which will be able to serve the purpose of an isolated area without jeopardizing the purpose of the vast area, the society and the individual. It's not the communism that is going to establish world peace. It's not capitalism that is going to establish world peace. It's not monarchical system of society that is going to establish world peace. It's not democracy that is going to establish world peace. And this is evident. All these systems are existing in the world today. And every day the whole mankind is on the nerves. It's none of these systems that are going to be establishing world peace. On the other hand, it's not the absence of all these systems that is going to establish world peace either. It's not one thing or the other that is going to be establishing world peace. It will be that knowledge, that natural state of life on earth, which will fulfill the individual and the society at the same time, through the same stroke of operation. And that will be through this technology of the unified field, which enriches individuality with the element of universality. All the laws of nature, supporting every law of nature, all the laws of nature, supporting every law of nature, that intelligence has to be developed in human beings, and then the human beings will not fight like dogs on a loaf of bread here, on a little market here. I need this market. If you come, I'll kill you. I'll put missiles on you. Yes, I'll put missiles on you. Like dogs, fighting dogs on a loaf of bread, and putting the whole mankind on the nerves of the fear and annihilation. Very fortunately, the flyers exhibiting mind-body coordination, displaying the coherent functioning of billions of neurons in their brain physiology, are generating that influence of coherence which will subside all these strokes of ignorance in the world. The world has been under fear and under struggle. History of nations has been the history of wars. After every 20, 30 years, 40 years, here, there. Ever since people started to meditate, there is some calmness, there is some quietness in those parts of the world where there are enough meditators. But still there are areas where meditation has not reached. And then fighting going on here and there. So it's not on the basis of religion that the world peace can be established, because we see countries belonging to the same religion, worshipping the same God, same churches, same mosques, but peace is lacking. So it's not on the platform of religion, it's not in the name of God that the uneducated man is going to live in peace. He's uneducated, I say. Uneducated in the sense that no one is educated in the world today to have no mistakes in life. There is not much difference in an uneducated man and an educated man today. Both are violating the laws of nature equally well. Equally well. All the world of scientists, chemists, physicists, physiologists, all knowing the laws of nature are full of problems in their own individual life, family life, society, here, teachers, students, teachers of physics, students of physics, not in good terms. So it is this lack of knowledge and lack of education of one basic area which is eternally in peace and is the basis of all diversity. I want to emphasize very much that it's not the diversity that is at fault. It's not the diversity that is at the basis of fear and peacelessness in any part of the world. It is the ignorance of that level of peace which is unshakable, unbreakable, and that is that unified field. That unified field we have been hearing from scientists, it's infinite dynamism. An infinite dynamism of all the laws of nature, and all the laws means on one end of extremity there would be infinite positivity, infinite negativity, destructive laws of nature, constructive laws of nature, the whole field of diversity, but established in eternal harmony. Infinitely destructive laws of nature, infinitely constructive laws of nature, both living in perfect harmony. That is a world of peace, and that is that unified field of all the laws of nature, and that is that human consciousness in the transcendence. That's the transcendental consciousness. When man would learn how to operate from that level, and for that Siddhi program has proved the validity. When enough people in the world are functioning from there, that will be the activity on the level of infinite peace. That activity will not eliminate destructive laws. That will not only nourish constructive laws, it will be a balance of constructive and destructive laws. It's the balance of the two opposite values of natural laws that creates an upward evolutionary direction to life. And evolutionary direction to life is supportive to all. It's the evolutionary thinking, it's the evolutionary action. And evolutionary means so flexible that it will take in all that is necessary for progress. In this, destructive laws are not eliminated. Destructive laws are not eliminated. They are only brought in perfect union with the constructive laws. Balance of balance of constructive and destructive laws is a life in evolution, where everything will be balanced. 4-5 million people of Norway, not all the people can think in one way. No. Not all the people would like to have sugar only, not all would like salt only, some little thing here and there. It's a taste, different physiologies, different minds, different directions. But as long as everyone is balanced in his creative and destructive forces, as long as one can incorporate automatically in his thinking a balanced situation of the creative and destructive laws of nature, so long he will be very healthy, he will be creative and better every day in every meaning. So it's the balance that is necessary, and the awareness is absolutely in balance in the transcendental state of consciousness. It's neither going right nor left, not exposed to this vision or to hearing or to touch or to smell or to taste. No direction. It is all multi-directional, all directional, all on its own self-referral state of pure consciousness is that unified field where infinitely destructive and infinitely constructive laws of nature are together in perfect union, in perfect balance. That's why the most ancient teaching in the world, the Veda, it has been Yogastha Kuru Karmani. Bring your awareness to that infinitely balanced state where unified field is awake in itself, the totality of natural law is fully awake in itself. Identify your awareness with that, and then Kuru Karmani, perform action. So action performed in the most balanced state of intelligence is the action supported by all the laws of nature. It's the most powerful action. It's that action which is the action of nature, organizing the whole universe in perfect orderliness. And therefore, all activity will be most orderly. It will be helpful to everyone else. The universe, being in peace, being in perfect order, doesn't have to dismantle the differences. The moon doesn't have to be dismantled at the cost of the sun, or sun at the cost of the moon, or Mars at this. Empty space, huge, big speed, big momentum, the whole universe, diversity, day, night, all this relativity, but on the ground of the absolute state of non-change which belongs to the unified field, all the infinite diversity, nothing of that is to be sacrificed for infinity to prevail, and that is the miraculous influence of the total potential of natural law. And human brain is capable of owning that in a permanent manner, that infinite organizing power of nature, which is perfectly balanced between creative and destructive forces. That power of nature, total potential of natural law, can be established in human brain physiology. Human brain could be trained to act spontaneously in the most balanced manner, and that will be the function in peace. World peace doesn't mean that there should be one kind of system of society. Not possible. The world means a full of diversity. But what is possible is that every life is evolving only, and no life, no one, no society, no individual violates the laws of nature. This is possible through proper education of natural law. And this is what we are establishing in the world. Proper education of natural law. Universities are bringing the knowledge of natural law, but isolation, some laws of nature brought to light by physics, some others by chemistry, some others by this. This is all right, but there is no way for the knower of certain laws of nature to live them spontaneously in life. And that is why only intellectual knowledge of the laws of nature is not enough to shape life to be supported by all the laws of nature. And as long as mankind is exposed to scattering process of knowledge of natural law, scattered here, little knowledge has always proved to be a dangerous thing. Unless the total potential of natural law, the unified field of natural law is stabilized in human awareness, human being will be dangerous to himself and to others. Little knowledge is a dangerous thing. It's a very, very solid experience of mankind. Little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Little knowledge of natural law, little knowledge of natural law, little knowledge of society, little knowledge of individuality, little knowledge. Someone emphasizes on society, someone emphasizes on individual, someone says there is no way, let's all together think. All these systems in the world, democracy, monarchy, and this, all of them are existing in the world, and their existence itself is proving to be dangerous. So we shouldn't think that politics can do for world peace, or religion can do for world peace, or economics can do for world peace, or this little thing can do for world peace. Association, identification of human mind with the field which is infinitely unified in itself, infinitely unified in itself. That is the formula for world peace. Technology of the unified field, which means transcendental meditation, TMCD program, and behaving naturally. That will generate a society free from problems. That will generate integrated national consciousness, and where no one would be influenced negatively by anyone. It's very vital. Every discovery in science has been timely. It's timely. It's timely now that we can think very clearly, we can understand intellectually, and we can put to practice on a practical basis. We can live life on the ground of unified field. We can live life on the ground of unified field. This knowledge must go to all the people as soon as possible. We'll be inaugurating MIU here, and this is the knowledge that will establish permanent world peace. And we are not satisfied with peace alone. There has to be prosperity. There has to be affluence. There has to be fulfillment in life, not just peace. Peace we talk in terms of, because there is a lot of fear-generated, fear of annihilation by all this press. Every day in the morning you come out and say, so many missiles there and so many missiles there. Unnecessary. It's not necessary. It's not on the basis of missiles that peace is going to be established. By practicing the technology of the unified field, every individual owns the universe. What if one country wants to own the other country? Let everyone in this country own the whole universe. Let every flag in the world own all the flags. That is the kind of world peace that we are creating now. It's on the way. It's on the way. It's not that we have to launch any new program for world peace. Just a few more flyers, a few more coming together and flying. every capital city in the world with one flying club, and there is the permanent world peace established. Don't have to seek for any principle of world peace, not any what they call conferences, the representative of one country going on there and going on there, let's do this and let's do this. These are all the temporary, these are the, we say, the tracks of the elephant, the teeth to show. The teeth to chew are not seen. They are transcendental, they are hidden. So we became fond of the roots. Let everyone be fond of the fruits. We keep on attending to the root, just a little attendance to the root, and the world will enjoy the fruit. World peace is almost half achieved. Almost half achieved. Almost in every country we have about half the number required. Half the number required for, in every country according to the population, about half the number required. Every flyer brings 2-3 friends of his, and then there is world peace. World peace will be on the basis of peace in every nation. Peace in every nation will be on the basis of peace in every family. Peace in every family will be on the basis of peace in every 100 billion neuron of the brain physiology. When this little area functions in peace, then the family will function in peace, then the city will function in peace, then the nation will have peaceful national consciousness, the world will have national consciousness. It's very important that we bring this about in this assembly of all the enlightened people in Scandinavia here today in this hall, when the whole nation is up in celebrations with the memory of the king and God save the king, and we pray to God to make the king healthy, happy and long-lived. This is the time that the enlightened citizens of Scandinavia here are planning for a perpetual sunshine of the age of enlightenment in Scandinavia, in Europe, in the world. And that will be on a very quiet level. And so many already experiencing this thing, so quiet. And then the nation as a whole is rising in the benefits of this already. That's why the time came that we celebrate the rising sunshine of the age of enlightenment. And we sing the glory of this technology of the unified field, which is the supreme technology, which is going to bring fruitfulness to all levels of technology, electronic, nuclear, and all the huge, all levels of intelligence and all levels of technical expertise. This is going to bring fulfillment to politics, to economics, to religion, to the social order. In the field of education, this is going to create a mistake-free man. This technology of the unified field in the field of education is going to create a man who would not make mistakes. And what is the criterion of mistakes? Natural law. Natural law. Life according to natural law. And when the total potential of natural law is lively in human awareness, thoughts and actions will be balanced. It's only in the balanced state that balanced state of the individual mind that peace and prosperity and happiness and all the glory of life will develop. So we are on the way. We are only to keep on doing, and very, very soon we will have a perpetual sunshine of the age of enlightenment. The moment we have included this knowledge of full potential of natural law, this technology of the unified field, the moment we have introduced in education, that will be the foundation for a perpetual sunshine of the age of enlightenment, most naturally. Till that happens, we have to keep gathering more and more number, and the atmosphere will be purified. In the case of rehabilitation, these prisoners, we have the experience now, years of experience in hundreds of prisons in the world, how the most stressed areas of society, the prisons, how they begin to feel happy and relaxed. So prisoners, we have to initiate the prisoners and let them fly within the prison till they are able to fly off the walls. These are our areas of action for world peace. Prisoners, wise men who are lawmakers and who are lawyers and all, supposedly free on the streets and markets, they are not able to establish world peace. We can take the prisoners within walls. They'll establish world peace. The technique for establishing world peace is remove the stress from human mind. Remove the stress from human mind. And to remove the stress from those who are in charge of a nation, to remove the stress from the minds of those who hold the positions in the government, what is necessary is the national consciousness to be free from stress. For that it is necessary that the individuals are educated not to violate the laws of nature. As long as individuals violate the laws of nature, violation of natural law will always create stress in the collective consciousness, and accumulated stress in collective consciousness will always create problems and sufferings everywhere. So in order to improve any governmental activity, we have to go to the people, advise them how they can stop violating the laws of nature. There is not much sense of living according to natural law in the population. If you talk to them living according to natural law, immediately they may think, oh, probably we have to go to the forest and live there and spend time in rains and this. And that is not life according to nature. Life according to natural law is functioning of the mind from that unified field of all the laws of nature. There is one place that is central switchboard of whole creation, that we want to own in our awareness. Own it in our awareness, and then anything that we will think, spontaneously the thought will be in accordance with all the laws of nature. Everything will be evolutionary. Nothing would be anti-peace or anti-harmony. Everything will be harmonious, more and more progressive. Therefore, world peace, which we know to be at least halfway already achieved by 50,000 flyers in the world today, and by all these world assemblies that are being held, creating that influence to neutralize the accumulated stress by the whole population of the world who don't know how to think and act according to natural law. Only it will be very, very wise for the educators in the country to introduce this to the children. It will be most fortunate for every parent to see that their children have this knowledge of the total potential of natural law, and they have this technique whereby they stabilize the unified field in their awareness so that they don't make mistakes in life. All the parents, mothers and fathers, even brothers and sisters, they don't want to see their children and their relatives getting into confusion and chaos and suffering. And here is one very clear and established, proven program for education, whereby children can be trained to not violate the laws of nature for their own sake. World peace is something with which many people are not concerned. National peace, nobody bothers. But every individual, one wants to be healthy, one wants to be successful, one wants to be wealthy, one wants to have many, many friends, one wants to have the applause of all others. For one's own sake, one should know to get the support of all the laws of nature. And therefore, it's an appeal, a strong appeal to the parents to see that their children get this knowledge, whether they get in the schools, or they get on the streets, or they get at home. Schools are governed by those who are out of parents' reach. When the children are out in the streets, they are out of home. But at least at home, it's the duty of the parents to make them sit 10-15 minutes morning and evening, close the eyes and associate themselves with the total potential of infinite possibilities. And then they have really educated the children. Schools today, not enough for education. That we know from what the society is. Fear prevails in society. Fear of this. Suffering prevails in society. And therefore, here is a strong appeal for all the parents in the world to see that their children are educated in that knowledge which will not encounter suffering onto them. This is a recent knowledge going on, being established for the last 25 years. And now is the time that this proven knowledge is practiced in every home. Whether educational system or not, whether it is accepted by the government or not, whether it is accepted by X, Y or Z or not, whether it is accepted by church or not, whether it is accepted by the theories of economics or sociology or not, this is something practical. For the individual it is necessary, for the parents it is necessary. And therefore, here is the formula for world peace. Peace at home, peace within the individual. And world peace is a byproduct of this peaceful living. It cannot be that the individual mind is worried and stressed and this, and the world of such individuals is a peaceful world. It just can't be. All these wars will continue one after the other as long as the war within the mind is not rooted out. The very foundation of war is in the stress in the brain physiology. And TM has proved to be that technology. Siddhis have proved to be that technology whereby all the neurons function in perfect coherence. And this is the family, this is the society of different values of matter and energy in the human brain, neurons. This is that knowledge which puts them in well-coordinated functioning. And here is the unit of world peace. World peace will not be achieved by negotiations, because negotiation, persuasive talks on the intellectual level, that may be a very temporary effect. But for lasting effect, there has to be spontaneity of action according to natural law. Spontaneity of action in a balanced way, which balances negative and positive forces of nature automatically. And this is just the training. A few minutes morning and evening, and for the whole day the mind is fresh. So we have the formula of world peace. We are creating, we are wisely using this formula in all parts of the world, and drop by drop the ocean fills. But that drop by drop is quite a fast process in this case, because even out of fear in all these, with all these power blocks running a race on missiles and all that every day in the paper, at least this has alerted the population of different countries, and they are finding all excuses to come together now. Excuse means today is Saturday, today is Sunday, so I am free. This is an excuse. This is just an excuse the people find to come together and hold world peace and purify the atmosphere. It should be the duty of everyone in one town to come together and fly together as a responsibility. As in a factory, everyone comes, 7 o'clock or 8 or 9 o'clock, all have to go. Doesn't matter if one comes from 10 miles or 5 minutes walk. But everyone is there at 10 o'clock. Otherwise, the law of the factory will close the doors of progress. Like that is the responsibility of this 83. Because I don't want even to draw that picture. It's so ugly that all the power blocks every day are broadcasting this and this and this. And no one single person is responsible for it. Head of state in every country has his own quality of collective consciousness which speaks through him. So if there are fights on the national levels, it is the national consciousness which speaks through the head of state. No individual is to be blamed. If the total population of US, if the total population of Russia, if the total population of Syria and the total population of Lebanon or Israel, it's a total population that motivates the head of state, or that motivates the policy of a country, that motivates the politics or economics of a country. It's the total thing. And therefore, it's the individual who makes the total population of a country that has to do something on his own, make a law. All those who have known this knowledge and are aware of its urgent requirement in the country, they take off time. Not that when they will get time, when Sunday comes, when God is resting, then they move along in the present. Don't make excuses, because the whole population of the world, violating the laws of nature, is creating the fumes of wars. And only the flyers in the world today, how many? A few thousand here and there and there. They have the technology to neutralize those fumes of war, to neutralize the stress from the world consciousness, and therefore, being enlightened, it is their duty to clear the clouds of wars. Only they must come together and fly every morning and every evening in their own hometown. Don't make an excuse that I am living 10 miles away, and how much you drive, half an hour to get to the factory in time. That much time importance should be given to the flying time. And just because someone who has the lamp, he only can be charged if a man tumbles down on the road. He had the lamp, why didn't he show it? It's only given to the enlightened people to save the life of the ignorant and spread the knowledge of enlightenment. And therefore, those who fortunately have had this knowledge, are growing in this knowledge, it's for them to create that influence of peace in the world, that influence of harmony, to enliven natural law in national consciousness and have more and more people come to enliven that natural law, and automatically we'll have world peace. And for that we are establishing MIU here, and we'll continue on this evening.